Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Taylor Nicholson and welcome to my beauty space. So today I did this super pretty like blown out pink orange smoky eye with this really cool ombre shimmery lip. I really liked how this turned out. I wasn't sure what kind of lip color I wanted to use. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a nude or this one, but I'm liking this one. I think it complements the eyes super well and it brings out the colors awesome. So if you guys like this look and you want to see how I got it, then please keep watching. So to start off this makeup look, I'm going to go ahead and prime my skin. I'm going in with this Huda Beauty Complexion and Perfection and Makeup Primer. And I'm just rubbing this all over my face using my fingers. And for foundation, I'm going in with this NYX Total Control little foundation drops. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on my beauty blender and start blending it into the skin. I am really making sure to get this down everywhere. And I'm also going to blend around the neck, down back onto the ears, back into the hairline and all of that, so that we do not have any harsh makeup lines. For concealer, I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer, and look at how satisfying this is. I got a brand new one, and I just love the look of these when they're brand new. They're just so clean and pretty. Even though I hate this applicator, I really wish it had like a little, like the doe foot, however you pronounce it. Those little applicators. I don't really like this one, but it's still very satisfying to look at when you first get it. So I am taking this and I'm putting it underneath the eyes, on the eyelids, on the chin, on my cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, and on my forehead as well, just to highlight those areas and bring some brightness to those areas. And I'm also going around my nostrils too, because I'm starting to get red right there. I don't know why, but I'm getting a little bit red in those areas. And once I get that applied, I am just going to go ahead and go in with that same beauty blender and just really blend this in. I am making sure to tap this down into the skin. Whenever I blend in my concealer, I like to make sure that my beauty blender is very damp so that it soaks up the extra product. And then I will just tap the concealer right down into the skin. I'm not swiping or anything. I'm just tapping so that this really gets pressed down. So it kind of like sets it a little bit more than if you use a brush. In my opinion, it just kind of, a beauty blender kind of like pushes the product down into the skin rather than just kind of like blending it on top. And once I get done blending that in, I am going to go ahead and go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. You guys know the drill. I love this powder. It is so good. And I just take this and I pick it up on my beauty blender, which is still just a little bit damp, but it's not as bad now that I've blended all the concealer in and everything. It's just kind of like barely damp, but it's not like soaking wet or anything. So I'm taking that and I'm just really pressing this down into the skin so that this just sets everything so beautifully. I love this method because it just makes everything look so airbrushed. So now I'm going to skip to the eyes. I'm actually going in with a face powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder in the shade 330 Toffee. And I like using this for an eyeshadow because it's just very warm and super pretty. And I don't know, I just love this color. Like, I need to find an eyeshadow that looks like this, but I have yet to find an eyeshadow that is this exact same color. So I am going in on a large domed crease brush from Sonia Kashuk. This brush is actually discontinued, but I love it so much, especially for like doing transition shades like this. It just blends everything out so beautifully. And now I'm going in with this shade called Orange Soda from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. And as you can see, I'm a klutz and I dropped it, but fear not, you guys, it did not break. So I am taking this shade and I'm going in with a Cala Crease Brush, and I'm just blending this shade further up into the transition area. I really want these two colors to blend into each other and to really just kind of combine with each other and make this really beautiful transition shade. And now, before I go into all of the other colors, I am just going to go ahead and take some translucent powder and just put it right at the edges of the eye to make sure that my eyeshadow does not come over too far, because I have a really bad habit of doing that. I'll just bring my eyeshadow way too far over and it just looks a hot mess. So I like this method because it kind of helps me and not do that. And I'm also putting a little bit right underneath my eyes as well, just to catch any fallout that might happen, because I'm using all matte shades for this look, so I might get some fallout. So now I'm going in with my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and I'm taking that orange shade in the bottom right corner called Blazing, and I'm taking this on an Ecotools angled crease brush, and I am just really working this into the crease area, and the less product that I get on my brush, I do go ahead and blend it up into those other shades. But whenever I first apply this, I like to tap it down into place so that I get it where I want it, and then I will go in and start kind of blending the product out. But I do like to go in with tapping motions at first. I just feel like this gives me the best result. And then of course, I have to go back in with that orange soda shade and that big fluffy brush and just kind of blend around the edges just to make sure that everything is super seamless and everything is nice and blended. And now I am just going back in with some more of that Blazing shade and just kind of like touching this area up to make it as pigmented as I want. I really like going in with this method. I like to apply my colors down and get them blended, and then go in with my transition color and blend out and blend as I go. I just feel like blending as I go is such a better method than blending at the very end of all your shadows, because then it can get quite muddy and your colors might not blend as well. But if you blend as you're going, like every time you put on another layer of a shade, just go in with your big fluffy brush. You can use it with no additional product or with your transition shade and just blend, and it just makes your overall outcome so much better. So now I'm going in with this Alamar Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, and the name is just like escaping me at this point in time. I'm going in with the yellow shade in the palette, but I will have everything linked below if I forget to name it or if I can't think of it like I am right now. Everything will be linked in the description box below if you guys are curious. So I'm basically just taking this yellow color just to put in the crease to add a little bit more of a yellow tint to it. It's not doing too much, but I just like using a lot of shades to blend. So now I'm going in with this really beautiful kind of like burnt orange red shade, and I'm applying this with a little Real Techniques tapered brush. And I love applying matte shades like this with a tapered brush because, as you can see, I am bringing this down onto the lid some, and whenever I apply it with this brush, it just makes it so much easier to blend out. I really prefer little tapered brushes like this rather than little like flat brushes to apply matte shades. I just feel like the result is so much better with a tapered brush, just because it does blend it out a little bit as you go, and it makes the lines less harsh, and it just makes it overall a lot easier. Now I'm going to switch to my NYX Vivid Brights palette, and I am taking the super hot pink shade, and I am just going to go ahead and I am packing this all over the lid. Like, all over the lid. Inner corner to outer corner, all over the lid. And I'm even taking this up a little bit into the crease just to get that blendage and just to make it kind of like mesh in with everything else. And as you can see, that powder really did make sure that everything was super clean and super sharp. I can't remember the name of this brush either, you guys. Like I said, it will be linked in the description box below if you guys are curious. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm just having like tons of brain farts apparently. But I'm just taking this shade and I'm just running it really close to the lower lash line. So now to blend all of that out, I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and I'm dipping back into the shade Blazing. And I'm switching to a slightly bigger brush. This one is still from e.l.f. And I am just going to go ahead and start buffing out this lower lash line. I really want the lower lash line to mimic the colors we have going on top. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this in just to add the orange in on the bottom. And now I'm going back in with that really hot pink shade on that little tapered brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and take the pink and run it along the lower lash line as well. Like I said, I want all of the colors on the top incorporated in the bottom, so I am just making sure all of those can be seen and really blowing out this lower lash line. I just felt like this look needed a really smoked out lower lash. Now we're done for the eyes for now, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the face. I'm dipping into my Urban Decay Beach bronzer, and I'm taking this on a little e.l.f. face powder brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the contours of my cheekbones. I want to put it around my forehead, around the temples, down the sides of the nose, and around the jawline, just to chisel out those areas, make my bone structure stand out some more, and also just to bring some life and color back into my face, because using all of our powders and foundations and everything, it kind of can make you look a little bit washed out. And I love bronzer because it just brings you back to life. So now that I have all of my bronzer on, I'm just going to take some more of my loose powder, taking it on the same beauty blender, and I'm just going to go ahead and carve out my nose contour. I just like to put some powder on the sides of the nose and then down the bridge of the nose, just to chisel out that area and make it look super snatched and super sharp. And I'm doing the exact same thing underneath my contour on my cheekbones as well. Now for blush, I'm going in with this Makeup Revolution Blush Goddess palette, and I'm literally taking all of the blushes and just mixing them together. I was trying to decide between like the really hot pink and the peachy shade, but I just decided to go in with all of them. So I am just running my brush through all of them, and I'm starting on the backs of the cheeks and working my way in towards the apples just to make my face look a little bit more angular. And this brush that I'm using is a Luxie Duo Fiber brush. And now I'm just going to go in with my big fluffy powder brush from Ecotools, and I'm going to go ahead and wipe away this baking powder. And as you can see, it reveals my nice chiseled, contoured nose and cheekbones. Now for highlighter, I'm going in with the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl highlighter in the shade Peach Glow. I have not used this highlighter in forever, but it is so pretty. I forgot how much I love it, and I'm going to have to start using this again because it's just been laying in my drawer. It's like an old treasure that I just dug up. So I am taking this on my Luxie Tapered highlighting brush, and I'm putting this on all the high points of my face. I'm just going to go ahead and go in and put it on the cheekbones, on the chin, on the nose, and above the eyebrows, on the forehead. Oh, and also, I did go off camera and do my brows, like, while my baking powder was sitting. I just used my Benefit Brow Cream Cream Eyebrow Color. And I used my little Sonia Kashuk angled liner brush to apply it, and then I just cleaned it up with some concealer, and I will have everything that I used linked in the description box as well with all of the other products. And then of course I have to go back in with my big powder brush just to make sure that all my highlight is blended and it's not super harsh. Now I'm just taking that same highlighter we used on the face, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this underneath my brow bone just to highlight that area. Now I'm going in with these little faux mink lashes from Ardell. They're super pretty and super wispy, but they're like kind of natural. They're not very long or anything, so I really like them. And then I went in with this little Essence lip liner. I went ahead and lined my lips. So after I get my lips lined, I'm going in with this little Milani liquid lipstick. And I'm going to go ahead and put this all over my lips. Oh, and by the way, whenever I did my lashes, I did go in with the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk. And I went ahead and put that in my waterline. And then just to go in the middle, I'm going in with a Stila liquid lipstick. It's just a really pretty kind of like cool toned nude shade. And I'm just going to go ahead and like tap this in the middle of my lips and kind of like tap it and blend it in. And then I'm going to go in with some more and then go in with more of the darker shade and all of that. I am literally just going in and reapplying both of these shades and tapping them in, tapping them together until I am satisfied with my result. This is kind of like a personal preference thing, how intense you want it, you know, like how much of a contrast that you want, all of that. It's just kind of like however you want to do it. As you can see, I wanted mine to be pretty intense. Like, I wanted you to be able to look at this and know that I was going for an ombre lip. So I am going through quite a few times and blending and reapplying. And then once I get all that blended the way that I want, I am just going to go in with this little Stila lip top coat. I'm putting this on the middle of the lip so that it will catch the light better and it'll make the ombre more intense. So now I'm going back in with that Alamar Cosmetics palette. I'm taking the pink shimmery shade and I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my inner corner highlight. And this is my finished look. I just went and like threw on some jewelry and did my hair and stuff. So this is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave me a nice comment. Turn on your notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone.